All right, guys, so today's video, just a quick and easy fix for you guys that probably will help out a lot of you. So right here is an Apollo RFZ Z20 Max, 125cc engine in it, and the problem that I was having was that the bike would run like crap right when you were, idling off cold. When it was cold, the bike would run like crap. It didn't really feel like it had much compression. It'd take a little while to start. You'd try to, it'd want to sound like it want to die out. Kind of like what this bike sounds like right now, which I will probably start up and show you guys kind of the symptom of what was happening. So anyways, I was like, what the heck could it be? So I took apart the carburetor thinking that, it had something to do with, maybe the slow jet, the pilot jet. But come to realize that those carburetors are actually riveted on. And what I mean by riveted on, I mean they're actually riveted on. So as you can see here, I took a hacksaw and actually cut a flat blade in them to get them out. What else you can do is you can take a right angle grinder and just grind them down on the bowl. I'm going to try to find the old bowl. So, usually the ones with the warning label are the ones that are riveted on. And you can see I have a few scar marks from grinding it down this one. And I kind of wizened up, and figured to grind a flat blade in them with a hacksaw. Takes a little while longer, but worked out good. So took the car apart. It seemed pretty clean. Cleaned out everything out just in case, all the air bleeds, all that stuff. Put it back together. Still ran like crap. I was like, what the heck? So I was kind of just pondering my thoughts, and I'm like, it runs really good hot. Idle all day. Cold, it just runs like absolute crap. I'm like, what the heck? So I'm thinking, I'm like, hey, not a lot of compression. Doesn't start good and run good cold. I was thinking that, hey, maybe the valve lash, once it heats up, it kind of loosens up. They could be tight, when they're cold. Sure enough, that's what it was. So we have a video, we'll put a link to it, of how to adjust the valves. Basically, it's under these two 17mm heads, this cap here and this cap down here. You have to take off the skid plate to get to it. But once you do that, you turn these out and you will see the valves below there. And then what else you want to do is take off this cover right here. This is the stator cover, dust cover you could say. Take off these 8mm bolts, 3 of them. One's tucked under by the shifter, one's back here, and one is up top. So once you get that done, you'll see the timing marks. There'll be a T with a line. That's your top dead center. And you're going to want to make sure that when you have the caps off that you watch it. We'll show the video of how to adjust your valves if you guys are having this problem. We have a full in-depth video of how to do it. So once you get that off, you'll see all your time marks. You want to spin it over, yada, yada, yada. So I get it out, and sure enough, the intake valve was tight. And I was like, that's got to be the answer, right? So loosen up the intake to about 3 to 4, probably a tighter 4, looser 3. And then I put the exhaust at around 6. The exhaust you can run a little bit looser. If you start hearing some noise, then you should probably tighten it back up a little bit. But I was like, hey, maybe that'll do it, and it did. It did. So as stupid as it sounds, it just needed a valve adjustment. This bike felt like it had no compression before, and now it's got a boatload more compression and everything. As you can see, never had that much compression before. The bike will probably run 10 times better now too, and it's had this problem kind of its whole life that I've owned it. I've never thought of something so simple as to adjust the valves. It took me a whole 10 to 15 minutes. Under the valve caps, it's a 9mm. I usually use a socket on a little 1/4-inch drive ratchet down there. You won't need the extension, but that's what I used to loosen that valve, the nut on top, and then you turn out the, it's a square head on top, you turn that out, and then you lock your nut back down to hold it in place. And when I say this thing runs like $1,000,000, guys, I really do mean it. I'm going to go back and put the skid plate on, and I'll show you guys how it starts up and whatnot when it's cold now, and I'll show you what this bike kind of sounds like, and we'll try to fix the same thing on this bike here in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and get that skid plate back on, and hopefully this will help out some of you guys once I kind of show you what I'm doing and such. Alright, you guys can get a video of showing you how this bike here starts and runs. So let me try to get her started here. Got her choked. that's no choking. It just wants to die. Right away, it just wants to not be running anymore. So let's go over to this one. This is the one that just had kind of the same symptom. And I wish I would have showed you what it ran like before I did this. But as you can see, I did run the bike just a second ago. But that was just to kind of see if my theory was right. So I won't even hit the gas, one kick. Fires right up. Idles perfectly. And it has 2 times more power than it had before. So let's go and see if this will help us on the other bike. Guys, so we're just doing a little valve adjustment here. You can do it without taking the side cover off over there. You just kind of got to watch the valves and keep a screwdriver on you to, when you kick it over, to kind of grab that top dead center of that compression stroke. Alrighty guys, so I got it at top dead center compression stroke. Exhaust valve has some wiggle in it. That one's good. Intake valve is tight. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to back that, get in here for you guys. I'm going to back this, see if I can get the light out. I'll back this nut off and then turn this screw head out. And if it doesn't turn, guys, I like to use a needle nose pliers to kind of get it to turn, and then you should be able to turn it by hand. Alrighty guys, so just like that, got a little bit of lash in that valve there. It was decently tight 3. So I'm gonna go ahead, I just made sure the other one on the bottom, the exhaust, was tight. Go ahead, reinstall our caps real quick here. And then we'll fire this thing up and see if it runs any better, guys. Let's see if this did anything for us. Kill switch is on. Right away, way more compression. Look at that. Fires right up, first kick. See how it didn't idle before? This is no choke. You guys saw I let it run for maybe a couple seconds on the last clip. So there you guys have it. 2 bikes fixed in the same video. If you guys have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to put something in the comments. We do usually look at those. As you can see, we'll probably have a rebuild video coming soon because this guy's starting to burn a little oil. So yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.